Okay, so this video goes out to my girl Megan and anybody and everybody else that gets a chance to see it. We're going to be cooking some food today, and hopefully this will help you learn how to cook and eat healthier, be a little bit more prepared to stay consistent. So you have to apologize. I have to apologize because this is a bit of a crude video, but we're going to be cooking a couple different things today. We got chicken breast, and this Smart Chicken is by far the best chicken breast you can get in stores right now. It costs a little bit more, but it's worth it. And we've got ground turkey. Always make sure you check the date. 1 pound. And then not necessarily the healthiest thing, but a good reward meal at the end of the week when you've eaten healthy all week long. We're going to cook some steak today too, and a few other things, but let's go ahead and get started here. So first thing you got to do is turn on your broiler. So let's see, custom broil, always make sure you hit start, and we got 500 degrees, pretty standard for most broilers. In case you don't know what the broiler is, it's the burner up here at the top, cooks down. So let's get our camera set back up over here. There we go. Alright, so first thing, while our broiler is heating up, I'm going to get 2 cooking sheets and come over here where I've got my stuff set up. Now we'll get to the steak in just a minute, but because I'm actually going to eat that today. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is get some aluminum foil. And normally I would have a roll of foil, but I'm out today, so I'm using these. These are great in a pinch, little foil wrappers. But basically what I'm going to do is make a little tray with each of these and fold up the corners and the sides here to keep everything contained, juices and things. You don't really want them running everywhere, so this makes it easier to clean up when you're done. And you'll see more about that later. So there's one, and then there's the other one. A nice little tray here, nothing fancy, just to get all the sides folded up and the corners closed off is the main thing you want to try to do. It doesn't have to be perfect. So basically that's what you want. And then before you do anything else, always make sure that you spray it real good. There's all kinds of different cooking sprays out there. You can go as healthy as you want to go, but the main reason I'm using it right now is just to keep it from sticking. So go ahead and get that done before you forget. And then let's see here, we'll go ahead and do the chicken first since it's the easiest one to do. So I'm taking my 2 chicken breasts, about $8 a pack. That's 1.1 pounds of chicken. It's a pretty good deal. So basically I can cook up to anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6 chicken breasts depending on how much food I want to prep for the week. Right now I'm on spring break, so I'm not prepping a lot of food. I'm just making this video to have some food for the rest of the week since it's Wednesday. Normally I would cook all this on Sunday and have it good to go for the rest of the week. But today I'm just going to do 2 chicken breasts. You can cook as many as you want. So first thing I'm going to do is always wash my hands before I start touching my food. And you'll see me washing them a lot as I'm going along here. Can't be too careful. So cut in here. Now if you like to marinate your chicken before, let it soak, all that kind of stuff, you can. I'm not that picky. So what I'm going to do here is just go ahead and take it out and put it on the foil. like so. Go ahead and get rid of that. Wash my hands since I touched my chicken. Go ahead and wash that knife because I'm going to use it again. So now we've got our chicken ready, and you can season it with whatever you like, but I'll show you what I like to use. I'm a big fan of teriyaki marinade sauce. Nothing fancy, but it helps give it a little juiciness, a little sweetness to it. Also, I'm a big fan of garlic pepper, or you can use like a garlic-free herb salt. So these are great for using on anything, as you'll see with the chicken and the turkey. So go ahead and just throw some of that teriyaki on there on both chicken breasts. Do that first so that then I can sprinkle some of the garlic pepper across there and it'll stick. And then I'll throw a little bit of the salt-free garlic herb sauce. A little goes a long ways. And there you have it. Chicken is ready. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Oh, let's see. Yeah. So there you go. Now all that extra teriyaki in the bottom, that's not a bad thing. But we got plenty of seasoning, plenty of teriyaki, and it'll cook up perfect. Now, let's do our turkey breast. And we're gonna make turkey patties. So what I'm gonna do here is get a paper plate and get into my turkey here. Whoops. Oh, that's okay. So go ahead and cut in. Get my turkey out. Now, this is 1 pound of turkey. So what I like to do is usually just split it in half and make 2 patties, because we're going to talk about portions here in just a minute. So I'll go ahead and take half of that ground turkey and I'll just make it into a ball here. Should be able to fit inside my hands just like that. Okay. And I'll just kind of work it together and then go ahead and mash it down on the plate. Make a good patty out of it. Kind of work it a little bit more. Make sure it's all staying together. And then, boom, it's ready to go. So, same thing with this one. Should fit in my hands. I know it's roughly the same amount. Nice little trick. Just work it together. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. As I said, we'll talk about portioning here in just a moment. But go ahead and just make it flat. Work it a little bit more. And then it's good to go. So, get rid of this. Wash our hands. And I like to use paper towels when I'm drying my hands, or I'll use the same towel throughout the whole process to make sure I wash it when I'm done. I don't keep it around just because touching all this food. I was brought up in the restaurant business during high school, so I know that you can cross-contaminate and all that good stuff. You can't be too careful. All right, now same thing with the turkey. I can, if you want to change it up, you can change it up. You can use soy sauce. I like to do teriyaki. I like to do the same thing because the meat's gonna dictate the flavor most of the time anyways. You don't have to worry about getting too crazy if you don't want to, or you can mix it up and try different things. So we'll sprinkle some teriyaki on there. Can't really overdo it with the teriyaki because it will just run off, and then you'll have some sitting in there which will bubble up and help keep everything moist. A little bit of garlic salt, or not garlic salt, but the garlic salt-free garlic herb, and then a little bit of the garlic pepper, and there you go. So here we have our turkey patties, chicken breast, and our broiler should be hot and ready. So you want to make sure that you have, usually most ovens have 2 racks. So you have a bottom rack 2 notches up to bake on, and then you have a broiling rack that you can have either at the very top. I have mine on the 2nd notch down. If it's too close, it can burn everything. So we're going to go ahead and slip this in here with the turkey and the chicken. And set our timer for 10 minutes, which amazingly enough, you can cook both these types of meat for the same amount of time. 10 minutes, pull them out, we'll flip them, and then we'll cook them another 8 to 10 minutes, and they're done. It's amazing. And they're cooked to perfection. The chicken is juicy, the turkey patties are moist. It's just great. Now you can't overdo it, but if you go 8 to 10 minutes per side, it's going to be just fine. Now, let's do a potato and steak. And while we're doing that, we'll talk about salmon and cooking oils and different things. So, get a skillet here. Now I'm just going to cook one of these steaks. It's a New York strip. Like I said before, this is nothing super healthy, but if you've been eating clean all week long after 3 or 4 days, this is much better than going out and having like a big huge cheat meal, you know, Chinese buffet, or just whatever. You can have a nice healthy meal with a good hearty steak and baked potato and some steamed veggies and satisfy the cravings that you've had all week long when you're trying to eat clean. So I've set my skillet here. If you've never cooked a steak in a skillet, my mom taught me how to do this. It's awesome. You turn your burner on medium to medium high heat. So I'm going to put this on halfway medium heat. There's several different kinds of cooking oil that you can use. I'm going to show you these. One of the toughest ones to find is this macadamia nut oil. I like to use this in the morning for my eggs. I found this at a grocery store in Tyler, Texas. But it's Australian macadamia nut oil, and I'm sure you can find it online. It's imported from Morristown, New Jersey. macoils.com. Made in Australia. Now this one is awesome. This is Chosen Foods 100% pure avocado oil. It has a very high smoke point, just like the mac nut oil, which means that you can't really burn it, which it won't burn off without losing all the good things that are in it. Like this has 10 grams of monosaturated fat per serving, and you don't lose that when you put it on high heat because it has a high heat, high smoke point. This is what we'll use today. Now, as a last resort, coconut oil is really good to cook with as also. All 3 of these beat the heck out of spraying a skillet or pan with this, even though I just used it earlier. That's about the only thing I use it for nowadays. Everything else I cook in a skillet, I'm using this stuff. So we're going to take our avocado oil and just kind of make a lap here around our skillet. Doesn't take much. If you want to measure it out, 1 tablespoon, 1 to 2 tablespoons would be just fine. So the key to cooking steaks in the skillet is that I want to let the skillet get hot first. While it's getting hot, I'll go ahead and marinate my steak. And